Thank you, Michelle. Some really handy tips there. I look forward to using myself when I start planning my next exercise program. So we've had some great discussions again, looking at all aspects of lung health and exercise. But I suppose as physicians looking after people with lung disease, we always need to get the perspective of the patient. And I'm delighted to introduce our next speaker, is Deirdre Martin, who has spoken before for the Irish Lung Health Alliance and really has a fascinating insight into what it's like to live with a lung condition.
Okay, so my name is Deirdre Martin, and first of all I have to say thank you very much for the professionals here who took the time out to help patients like us. I'm sure you'll all agree it was very informative, and Michelle too as well, to give us practical tips on exercise that we can do to help us with our lung disease. It's great to have such empathy too, because our fear, of course, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of people when I say that it can be very frustrating and very frightening when, of course, the key to our success for healthy lungs is diet and exercise and sleep and avoid smoking and all the rest. But when you push yourself and you get very breathless, it can be very frightening. And to have our professionals empathise with that is wonderful. So it's wonderful to be invited to ask to speak here to give a perspective of a patient's point of view. My disease of choice as such is sarcoidosis. It's an autoimmune disease that happens, it can affect any organ in the body, but it does tend to affect the lungs. I have it for the last 7 odd years, and in regards to trying to stay healthy and well, I know when I was diagnosed first, steroids are one of the treatments for sarcoids, so I put on a stone a month for the first 5 months that I was on steroids. So of course you go to your consultant and you say, how can I feel better, how can I look better with these drugs and this illness? And like a lot of it's to do with you make up these excuses and you go into denial. And I remember saying to him, he said to me, maybe you should try and accessorise more. And I thought, I can do that. So the next time I was getting ready to visit him, new earrings and rings and jewellery, and I said, well, I might look a little bit better, but I don't feel much better. He says, Dee, I said you should exercise more. And you tend to make excuses, don't you? And I said, no, I can't exercise. I'm allergic to exercise. And he says, Dee, I don't know if it's possible to be allergic to exercise. And I said, no, definitely, because I broke out in a sweat and I couldn't catch my breath and I was feeling blood pressure going on, all these signs of this allergic reaction. He says, you're going to have to stop making excuses. You're not allergic, that's what happens when you do exercise. Your heart rate goes up and your breathing increases and you break out in a sweat, that's the idea. So I got to the stage I thought, okay, all these excuses, yeah, I thought I said accessorise, no, I'm going to have to start exercising and you can't be allergic, so I may start trying to do a little bit. And then I said, I might try to do something gentle like Pilates. I'm thinking pie and Pilates, I could do that too as well. But no, that's not what I meant either. So it's another thing, this I thought, God, I wouldn't mind buying a yoke like this. So it's a creative blog, so it's like an exercise blog. You put it down on the ground, you walk around it twice, and you go into the consultant and he says, how are you getting on with the exercise now? And you say, oh yeah, I walked around the block twice before I came. But you can't keep going like that, sure you can't. You have to start off somewhere. So I know when I started off with my exercise, with lung disease, you must remember, like what Michelle said and the others, it's not about getting back into the size 10 jeans or whatever. It's to do with trying to maintain a healthy lung. You want your pulmonary function to improve or stay at a healthy level. So in order to exercise, the simple stuff, it's like the walking, jogging, if at all possible. Even little things like dancing, Pilates, yoga, slow golf or pitch and putt, swimming, it's all this, it's little and often, isn't it? And I remember one thing that triggered something for me, like that again, I know I was joking about my consultant, calling on about these other bits and pieces, but he did say to me, look Deirdre, he says, we don't expect you to be an athlete. And I thought, okay, that's a challenge, isn't it? So I noticed this sign in the local health centre that I was part of, and it was an indoor triathlon. So you could do the treadmill, and you could do a little bit of swimming, and you could do a bit on the bicycle. And I said it to a girlfriend of mine, would it be something that she'd be interested in doing? Like, she could do 90% of it, she's very fit and well. And I said, I'll try a little bit with her. And for 3 months we did this. Now I did a very, very small part because of the breathlessness. Excuse me. And we eventually built up over the 3-month period where I was able to do a little bit of the treadmill. It was a tag triathlon. She did most of it, and I did it until I got to the stage where I thought I was going to have a heart attack, never mind lung disease. And then we swapped over, we did a bit of swimming, and we did a bit of biking. We got through it. After the what do you call it, the Love Your Lung, when we had that there, was it not even a year ago, Eric? It was last year. One of the reporters there, we were chatting afterwards, and the actual Woman's Way magazine picked up on the fact that we did the triathlon. And as I said, you can see my girlfriend there, Gillian Mangan. Obviously she did 90% of it, as I said, but I did take part. And I think the key is, and it's like what Michelle said, I'm joking when I say I'm a triathlete. I look at people and I say, do I look like a triathlete? You don't have to be jogger or ice skater. It's just small and often, and consistency is the key, the one that I had up earlier. It's to do little and often, and to have confidence in yourself, because your confidence goes from lung disease, and you're afraid. You're afraid you're going to be halfway down the street and you're going to get dizzy, or you're going to have a panic attack, or something's going to happen to you. So that fear is there. It's to build up confidence little by little, and to do it nice and slowly and gradually. And as I said, consistency is the key. That's all I can add. I just want to show you my medal I brought. That's very important. My husband. My husband is he has All Ireland medals and he's All-Stars, and they're shoved in a press in our house at home. And this comes out every now and then. I think the big thing is, when you have lung disease, it's not to give up. Don't use the excuses like what I did in the beginning. It's, I don't have to worry about that anymore. I have a kind of a disclaimer now. I have a lung disease, like I'm off the hook. And that's not true. We have to maintain our health, and we have to be positive and to take the little steps. And a sense of humour goes a long way too as well. But like one of my colleagues here earlier was saying, rope in family. Yeah, we have our colours, as the professor was saying there. We have our club colours and our disease colours and all this. But we have our family members, we have our friends and our colleagues and all the rest. Don't be afraid to ask them to come along with you to help you build up that. Because when you do it, you do feel better.